Hi, this is Sparse v1.1 installation guide. My name is Luis Perron, and my partner here, Andre Barrientos.
So for the software and hardware requirements, you need Unreal Engine 4.20.3. On Windows, you need Visual Studio 2017 with the game development with C++ workload. For Mac, you need Xcode, and then we use a library called Rpc Lib, and we need Python for the client. And for hardware, we need a gamepad such as a PS4 controller, and a decent GPU is not required, but it's recommended. So to install Sparse on Windows, first you need the Visual Studio 2017, as I said before, the Unreal Engine 4.20.3, install Python, and then you need these three libraries from Python, and then you just use the command pip3 install, followed by npc rpc, and you do the same thing for the rest. So pip3 install space inputs, and same thing, pip3 install space keyboard. And then clone the code from the Bitbucket, get and build the Rpc Lib file, and then you create a folder into this directory of the project and paste the Rpc lib file in there, and then generate the Visual Studio code from the uproject file, and then you open up the project and it should build and open in Unreal.
Okay, now for the installation on Mac, the only difference is instead of using Visual Studio, you're going to be using Xcode, as well as for the library extension for the Rpc Lib, it's going to be a different file. Instead of, it's going to be .a, and yeah, that's pretty much the only differences for Mac and Windows. Now we're going to go over in more depth on how to install on Windows than on Mac.
So we're going to start by cloning the Sparse plugin into anywhere you want on your computer. And then this is the clone command I'm going to use. So I'm saving this onto the desktop. There it is. Here's the Sparse plugin. And now in your project folder, if you don't have a plugins folder already, you would make one. Call it plugins. And then you can just drag and drop everything that's in here into this plugins folder. All right. So the only thing that we're missing now is the Rpc Lib file for Windows. So to get that, you come here to the Rpc Lib website, you open up their GitHub on the top right, and the version of Rpc Lib that we're using is version 2.2.1. So go to releases, version 2.2.1, get the source code, and save this also wherever you want. I'm gonna save mine over here. So now I'll just extract everything. It's gonna take longer than I expected. Alright, so I'm back with the Rpc Lib file is now uncompressed. So now we're going to go into this directory from the command line. So wherever that is for you. So once you're in this folder where the CMake file is, here's where we could follow the steps on the website. So we could skip the first clone since we already got that from GitHub. And now we make a directory called build. We go into that directory. And now for Windows, we're going to have to do something a little different. We're going to do cmake-g. So, and then Visual Studio. I think we're 15 actually. So space dot. Alright, this shouldn't take too long. Alright, there. And now, instead of following the step 3, do the step down here. So cmake --build period space --config space release. So we don't need this anymore. So while that's finishing up, gonna go back into our folder, our Sparse folder, our project folder that has the plugins folder that we cloned earlier. Gonna go into Sparse, source, third party, Rpc Lib, and here create a new file called lib. And here's where we're gonna drag and drop our new Rpc Lib file, which we're still waiting on. So I'll pause it now and I'll come back when we have that. Okay, so once the build is done, we can actually just close the terminal, go into that Rpc Lib folder, go into that build directory that we had made earlier. There should be a release folder, and here is our lib file. You can just copy it and paste it over here. And now we should be good to go. So go back to your project file. You should have the U plugin folder. The U plugin file. Right click it, generate Visual Studio project files. I'll be back when this I'll be back when this is. Alright, now once those Visual Studio files are done, you just have to double click the Unreal Engine project file. It's gonna ask you to rebuild these modules. And now it's built. So all we did was clone the plugins folder from the repo, drag that into our project, and then made the Rpc Lib file, and then just started the project. So I'm gonna pause it here, and when it's about to finish, I'll come. Okay, so here this is about to finish. The project's about to finish building. And last step. Alright, so there it's done, and the project should launch automatically. And here we are. So if I hit play, we should see the car with the 3 cameras. Right. So that was for Windows, and now I'm going to hand it off to Louis.
now I'll be
Wait a second.
see my screen.
And there, we're seeing your screen, Louis.
Now I'll be showing that it successfully runs the Mac. It should be the same steps. So here I'm going to copy and paste this link to clone the branch, or the repository. So now I'm cloning this on my desktop. Just wait for it to finish. Now it's here, it's done. Now you can open Sparse plugin, and you'll see here that you have the Sparse plugin. Now open your Unreal project. Here in the plugins folder, you can now drag and drop your plugin. Now that we have that, we're going to want to clone the Rpc Lib from the GitHub. So you're going to want to go to releases. Source code, make sure it's 2.2.1. Done. You're going to want to unzip the folder. Drag and drop the folder in the desktop. Well, you can have it anywhere you want. Now you're going to go back into the terminal and you should run these commands. Since it's Mac, you can literally just copy and paste this. So you're going to want to go inside the Rpc Lib folder. Now you can copy and paste it. Now we're building the Rpc Lib library. Once it's done building, you can go inside the Rpc Lib folder, and inside the build directory, you should see something named librpc.a. Now that's a library file. So now, go back into your Unreal project folder, and you're going to go into source, third party, and from third party, you should create a library folder. I've already created one, which is right under Rpc Lib. That's where you're going to drag in the librpc.a. Drop. Now, good. Now you can run the project. Well, you have to build the project file. So you're going to right click on the .u project, go down to services, and generate Xcode project. Done building, you should have an XC workspace file. You're going to double click that. You should open Xcode. Wait for this to load. Now we're going to click the run button, which is in the top left. Project and open Unreal Editor. Now when it's done building, you'll see here that the Sparse v1 editor pops out and it's now initializing. So just wait for this to finish and your project should open. 87%. Here, the Sparse plugin is now working. You can now click on play. You should now see your little vehicle pop out with your screen. Now here you can see that Sparse plugin is now working on Mac and Windows.
That concludes our user story video. Thank you.